In this episode, we will be exploring Xitai's 2,000-year-old Han farming culture and soaking up a piece of ancient history on the best noodles in town and marvel at the unique symmetry of the landscape.
We said goodbye to the city in Urumqi and we come to this in the countryside. Now we continue our journey up towards the north, and this is where Xitai's farming culture happens, and we're going to be investigating a piece of ancient history in the northern court. It's all happening here on Travelogue.
Little is written about this hidden gem in English guidebooks, and that's both a shame and a blessing. Located on the northern route of the Silk Road, it was a stop-off point for caravans traveling across the sprawling Gobi Desert. Over 2,000 years ago, Han Chinese migrants built important cultural monuments here. Centuries later, during the golden age of the Tang Dynasty, it became a hub for trade and military activity. I discovered how the Han Chinese have left a delectable stamp on this land.
It took us about 2 hours to get here to Jingmusar, and this is an open space, an open plaza where people get to just hang out after working hours. Locals just, get into all sorts of different leisure activities. There's a definite laid-back feel to this town. Now, Beijing-Fucheng is also situated here in Jingmusar. That means that we'll get to explore the ancient ruins of the old city. But first, I want to check out the herd.
Easily accessible by highway, Jingmusar lies 160 kilometers east of bustling Urumqi. It's hard to imagine now when you experience today's relaxed atmosphere, but this was once filled with camel trains carrying silk brocade and other treasures through the town. And it seems like over the centuries, the locals have built up a treasure trove of energy, vigor, and vitality.
It's a great way of working out and really just getting into the local activity. These women are amazing.
These women give me such good vibrations, but all good things must come to an end.
I'm gonna leave them to it. I'm really tired. I'm gonna get some water. Woo.
The next morning, I'm bursting with anticipation and woke up extra early for little detective work.
We're coming around the corner to the ruins of the old city, and locals told us that there is this one particular man that's been walking all around the ruins of the old city for about 30 years. He's basically covered every inch and he's always there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set off and find him. So let's see if we can catch a hold of him. 就是这嘛，北京古城。好，待会见。Hot right now. Hope we find him and it's not in vain.
Xinjiang is just so big and fascinating, with its mystery encapsulated in places the like of which you could never imagine. Here, forever etched in the geology are lifestyles and traditions from ancient history.
Or something. At least there's someone walking around quite far in the distance. Hi, 你好。你是李老师吗？当地人说，如果要了解故城，可以来找你。你就是他们说的李老师吧？
我就是这从事文物工作的理工人。
OK， 好，你就是我要找的人。你好，我叫
请问您
？Greta， 我叫 Greta。你好就没有打扰你吧？你今天有没有空带我看一看？
不打扰，那咱们一块走走。
好。
这座城池是中国唐代北京都护府。
I'm lucky to have found this archaeologist. He has dedicated his life to unraveling the mystery of the old court. Erected during the Tang Dynasty 1,300 years ago, this represented the central government's military, political, and cultural presence in the western region, which is most of Central Asia in fact. While agriculture flourished 2,000 years ago, government officials and skilled workers sent from Chang'an, the ancient capital, reminded me of its once glorious past.
这是从哪年代的？
中国唐代的。
你说这个现在？
唐代，像这样的。
全都是从唐代的。
对，这全都是。我们现在看到的像这样的砖，这些铺地砖，这个规格和质地，还有它的工艺手法，都是与中国唐代当时的中央朝廷就是长安现在是中国西安呢，都是相同的。
所以他们的
这就说明北京都护府当时它的级别是很高的。
它可能会比乌鲁木齐还更重要。
在当时，它比今天新疆的，就中国新疆的这个级别还高。
还更高？
更高，对。
Something just as important as the old court lies 700 meters away to the west. It's the better preserved West Temple, built in the 10th century. The Han-style murals are a rich source of information. The ethnic costumes and fur coats, horse riding, and making offerings at the temple provide a vital clue as to what life used to be. This is one of the only temples of its kind north of Tian Shan Mountains, and I want to hear its hidden story.
咱们现在到的是西寺遗址204窟。204窟南壁面上，整个绘有佛教经变故事画。绘画风格是唐晚期风格，即以胖为美。这是唐代时期的汉文化的典型绘画技法，非常细腻，手法技艺非常高超。这不是当地的模仿者所为，而是由中原汉族工匠高超的技术工匠所画的。
The more I learn about archaeology from this era, the more I appreciate its artistry. Ready to turn up the tempo? I head to a temple that's bursting with life.
It's 7 a.m. now and the car park is completely full. There are all these people out and about because there's a temple fair going on inside. And this is one of the only Han Chinese Buddhist temple in the northern region of Xinjiang. So we're in for a treat.
I thought I was the early bird here, but maybe not.
There are lots of people out and about today. They're mostly from the northern region of Xinjiang, just locals getting on, overnight tour buses, bearing the long, hard journey, just to receive their blessings, such as their dedication, and I'm right in line.
Celebrating alongside the locals is the best way to get a slice of life, and I'm fortunate to stumble in at the right time. This temple was built 2,000 years ago, which makes me wonder how often a scene like this 3-day temple fair must have played out before over the centuries. The Silk Road has significantly shaped religious beliefs on a worldwide scale. Along with commodities, Buddhism spread from India to China, passing through Xinjiang. From the very first, the Han Chinese immigrants felt a close connection with this spiritual form of worship and became believers. Coming up next, we journey to Qitai, a massive meat-producing farming haven, and soak up the sweet sound of jambalata set against the fields of green glory.
So we're now at Jingmusar and we're driving along this little road heading to Titai, and you can see it's not very far, it's about half an hour. Titai is known for its lantaos, apparently it's ridiculously good, so I'm excited to try some.
You can reach Titai quite easily by Highway 216. It's a short 2.5-hour journey away from Urumqi, the Xinjiang capital. Known as a massive wheat-producing county, the water from its mountains, the soil rich with natural elements, and the exceptional weather make it a farmer's heaven.
We've been driving up the hill for about 15-20 minutes and we come to this. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that, blue skies, wide open space, nothing obstructing your view. Oh gosh, I can even see a car coming up there. This is just wonderful. Do you know that's wheat fields, and in autumn this will just be brilliant yellow. This is really something. Reminds me of a scene from an English countryside or something. Picture is really worth 1,000 words. I gotta take a photo. This is just spectacular. You feel free. Nothing obstructing your view.
The lack of pollution and the sheer tenacity of the Han Chinese have filled the landscape with top-quality barley, potatoes, corn, and other more local produce. The grains are some of the best in China. Clear evidence of this is the rice wine, with its superior taste. Compared to most of China, the wheat has a higher gluten content, 20% as opposed to the normal 9%. Now that's quality.
Lovely, isn't it? This is great! I feel free! Woo! This is so amazing. I mean, we're just driving along the road and this is what we come to. There's a whole herd of lambs. Oh, you beauty. Look at that. There's nothing more arresting than looking at this vast green landscape and then these sheep just dotted. I know, sometimes Xinjiang is really huge, and when you get from one place to the next, it takes you several hours, so you really want to just get out of the car and just have a walk, and you never know what you might find.
After some sheep gazing, I'm ready to check into my accommodation.
We finally reached Titai Holiday Resort here, and we're going to spend the night. It's so beautiful. Doesn't this look like Europe? I can't believe it. I mean, these alpine trees and these valleys, just like the sound of music. So gorgeous. And the locals are so friendly. They picked me a bunch of these flowers, not because they think I'm pretty. Well, that's because they're really kind and sweet. They noticed that I've got hives, so what they did is they told me that you can boil this and apply it and it'll be better. So I'm going to try it tonight. But isn't this wonderful? It's great. This is my villa. Woohoo!
Xinjiang has mostly a semi-arid desert climate. There are huge seasonal differences, which makes it harsh on the skin, so pack medication for that just-in-case situation, as it's hard to find these products here. But I've been lucky. The local remedy works like a charm. Another charm here is the quaint and idyllic accommodation nestled on the hills. You may be surprised to find that it's more affordable than many hotels in Urumqi. I had a dream last night. I was sleeping on a prairie. Hang on a second. It might just come true.
We woke up this morning and this beautiful mountain just emerged from the mist. Oh, it's gorgeous with alpine trees and Kazakh yurts just dotted all around the land. We're just taking a breather here for a second before we head off to the surrounding farmlands in the area. But I'm just going to enjoy the sun for that wee bit.
After my little bout of self-indulgence, we set off for Jambulaka to meet a friend of mine. I'm looking forward to tapping into her knowledge of the area. But first, a little scientific experiment.
You can see right over there? That's called the strange slope, and there are lots of cars parked right at that area. They're trying out the slope, going up and down because there's something strange happening. So we're going to check it out. 来了，走吧。
这样看是上坡吗？
对，这样看的确像是上坡。好，你在干什么？
我没有加油呀。
没有加油。
嗯。
This is amazing. He's not even stepping on the pedal, not on the gas. 你现在脚不踩了，对吗？
对。
And we're still moving. 太奇怪了，太奇怪了，难怪大家都在这儿玩，对吗？然后如果我们返回去是怎么样的效果呢？ You ready? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go down the slope. Okay, 现在你放开。So the car, strangely enough, 不动，停了。现在才有着走。这就是 opposite world. That's why they call it the strange slope. This is so bizarre.
Jambulaka means originator of holy water in Kazakh language. Located 60 to 70 kilometers from Titai County, it's easy to see how the sacred space attracted my friend's ancestors and persuaded them to make the journey here for a shot at a better future. It's so exciting to see her and find out how she's getting on.
这是你家吗？
对，这是我们家。
太好了。
去我们家坐一会儿。
好啊。谢谢你啊，对啊，接待我。是吗？
来，进，这是我家。
好哎。哇，好凉快哎。
对啊，看屋顶，这是典型的汉式建筑，冬暖夏凉。
哎呀，
大佬，你有见长花吗？
你好，你好。
这是我的朋友盖塔。
嗨，你好，你好，打扰你了。那你现在在干什么呢？
我在讲窗花。
哦。
窗花。
什么样的
这个窗花就是当地人呢过节啊，结婚啊，
都有。
都要建这个窗花。
哦，那你呢？
我也会一点儿。
是吗？
我爷爷的时候，从我爷爷到这儿之后呢，我们就一直贴窗花。
对啊。那你爷爷是怎么来的？
我爷爷是从甘肃来的，是我太爷爷的时候，因为甘肃这缺水，生活条件比较恶劣，然后我太爷爷就听说奇台这个地方盛产粮食，所以就带着我爷爷举家搬迁到了奇台。
哇，对，因为这边是个好地方。
对啊。所以我现在就是个新疆人了。
是啊。
对啊。
可是你们还有你们的风俗习惯，就还没变，
一直都传承着。对。
看，
可以看一下，像这个，有这个年年有余。
漂亮，剪得太好看了。
这些窗花贴到窗户上，就感觉特别喜庆。觉得气氛就特别浓。来，我们现在开始贴窗花。
这样子，直接贴了。
Titai lies to the east, at the northern foot of Bogda Peak in the Tian Shan Mountains. It's an area that enjoys a great continental climate. With hot summers, cool winters and little rainfall, the best time to visit this part of Xinjiang is early autumn, where the temperatures are more comfortable. After a quick tour of the village, lunch is beckoning. The wholesome goodness of eating in a village is something not to be missed. As a city dweller, it's a real privilege to enjoy food that's traveled only a short distance to my plate. These farmers handpick the chicken, vegetables, potatoes, and spices right from their own backyard. If authenticity is what you're looking for, this comes highly recommended. Now that's real food for the soul.
这图终于来了，来尝尝。终于来，大家好，就用筷子吃吧。
对。
好。再来一块。OK。
怎么样？
很好吃，这个口感就跟那个西方的有点相似，可是，it's really fragrant, it's really good.
Yeehaw! This is China's Wild Wild West, and their local rendition of mashed potatoes shouldn't be missed. Xinjiang covers 1/6 of China's landmass. The terrain is largely made of desert, snow-capped mountains and glaciers, all of which dictates the temperatures. Peaking at 38 degrees in July, the heat here is pretty powerful, but there's something else you can try to beat it.
有一点酸酸的。对啊。
这个名字就叫大黄。
大黄。
大黄。这是一味很好的下火的很好的中药。
这是不是以前欧洲人就用黄金啊？
黄金宝石就换这个东西，他欧洲这个地方没有这个东西。过去丝绸之路的时候啊，骆驼也穿过沙漠，他全凭这个东西，他就把解除了，缺这个东西不行。
就这个东西。
这个东西没这个东西，他就开始死。
所以不提也是，可是非常有作用。所以如果说没有这个，然后那些骆驼就可能会死了，然后丝绸之路的那个生意就不能再干了，对吗？
这是好东西啊。
有点难吃哦。
This form of Chinese opera, Qingqiang, comes from northwest China. While respecting its original style, the locals have made it their own by using Qitai dialect to belt out their adoration for Jambulaka. These villages' forefathers come from different provinces, so Qitai dialect is a curious melange of Gansu, Shanxi, and Henan dialects, just to name a few. Cultural synergy has been seamlessly woven into the fabric of their lives. Coming up next, satisfy your taste buds with Qitai's famous green pepper beef noodles and your eyes with a heartwarming performance by the locals. Xinjiang's landmass is equivalent of France, Germany and the UK combined. The vastness means that you might be sitting for hours till your next stop, so make sure you jump out occasionally. Don't let the immense beauty of the landscape just pass you by.
Lovely sunflowers always make my day. We stopped off at the side of the road to check these out. Oh, gorgeous. I love it too. Alright, but we have to get back on the road.
We finally reached Qitai City and have a little pit stop. But don't be too quick to expect the customary tea in this part of China.
好，谢谢。在这边不是就是喝茶，就是招待客人的时候在这边歇的，为什么会喝酸奶呢？
这个酸奶呢，原本是少数民族的习惯，但是在新疆来说呢，少数民族习惯和汉人习惯有很多都在融合，对身体好的，我们都采用。哇，味道怎么样？
非常棒，我要哭了。这一碗多少钱？
这一碗3块到4块。
Never tasted anything so good， 这是非常非常新鲜的，哇。
Qitai is truly a food lover's paradise. Here, Han Chinese eating habits have been influenced by Uyghur and Kazakh ethnic flavors. So we uncharacteristically chommed out huge skewers of lamb and slurped a bowl of hearty noodle soup for breakfast. This is something you have to try when in this part of Xinjiang. Qitai is famous for its chewy, fragrant noodles that have been textured to perfection. There's a saying here that goes, a local leaves town for work, and when he returns, he heads first not for home, but for a bowl of local noodles called la tiaozi. The noodles are served with side dishes, so learn how to say 过油肉, as this is the best combo.
谢谢，这是拉条子嘛？
对啊，这就是我们邢台最有名的过油肉拌面。这个肉加到这个面上面。
是这么的吃法。
对啊，把全部都加上。
哇，好哎，好哎。来，我试一下呗。
来，盖它，加拌蒜。加拌蒜味道更好。
非常有弹性，这是北方的吃法。
对啊，我们这种涮汤碗就是从北方传过来的。
太好吃。
Eating is believing. Our entire crew have voted unanimously. These are the best noodles we've tasted in northern Xinjiang. Come sundown, people here don't hibernate indoors, but make merry outside. Ancient Xinjiang embraces a modern attitude, which is profoundly expressed by the combination of the traditional Chinese instrument, the erhu, and the Western violin. I find their openness in embracing different cultures and living in a unique symmetry deeply infectious. Love for Xinjiang is in the air, and I fully agree with the chorus that this is a good place. It reminds me that I should enjoy the simpler things in life. It's a real blessing to eat, drink, and be merry in such an epically beautiful landscape.
The Han Chinese culture here has been surprisingly intriguing. From the ancient ruins of the old North City to the glorious paths of the West Temple, there's a distinct Han flavor, but there's still so much wilderness here in Xinjiang that's yet to be explored. So I'll catch you on the next episode of Travelogue as we hit the road. 师傅你好，咱们走了。Adios amigos.